And there's no other way to start it off than with some style. And I have today a superstar when it comes to style, fashion. She's part of our committee for 50 Shades of Pink. And I'm getting to know her. And I can't wait to hear her story because I haven't heard it completely. So I want to say a big welcome to our guest, who is Genevieve Page Villar. She is a private label of Genevieve and also Relove, which is in Pinecrest. And we're going to be taking the cameras down there later in February and going live from Relove because this wonderful rock star has offered to give back a portion to our charity, which is Luminous. And we are going to be giving you a code later on in the show. But in the meantime, welcome to Genevieve.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
It's so wonderful. I mean, the thing that I love so much this year about our committee is that probably 8 out of 12 members I had never met.
Oh, I love that. Right.
Just when I think I know everybody, I mean,
Miami's so big, but also a small town.
Well, and as you know, Janet Lorenzo Garcia, our event chair, she said to me, I said to her, I want you to put together a committee that, of real rock stars, but, I want to meet some new people.
Right.
She, oh, well, don't you worry. And she took that assignment quite seriously. So today is all about you. This is your spotlight to tell us about your brand, your business, a day in the life, and your story. Okay. So take it away.
Well, my name is Genevieve. I am 30 years old. I just turned 30.
Yeah.
I've been with my husband for almost 10 years. We have 3 boys. But I've also been in business for 10 years. So I originally started my business as a designer. I opened my first store at just 20 years old. And it was more boutique style. I was bringing in things from different countries, very artisan made, handmade pieces, whether it be clothes, shoes, bags. And then, so it was, I wouldn't say fast fashion, but it was all, like I said, organic, handmade looking. But then over time, I wanted to start designing, and I designed something for myself to wear to a wedding just to test out a manufacturer. And that first design, not knowing where to start or how to begin or how to do anything, because I don't know how to sew or do, I don't pattern make. So I had to outsource everything, but I have the eye, and I always have. So I tried out this new manufacturer for the wedding that I was attending. The gown came out amazing, and it was actually the first dress that I've ever made, and it was also featured in many international magazines. So from just starting out not knowing how to do anything, I really exploded just from that one design. So, over time, I continued to build my clientele. I've always had a brick and mortar, and, I've met the most amazing people in Miami. It's such a good city and good market to really grow in your industry. So then, I did that for a couple of years, and I'm still a designer, but then recently I launched Relove, which is my luxury consignment store.
I can't wait to see it. I'm so excited to see it, and love luxury. So.
Yes, I know who doesn't. It's dangerous. I love everything that I bring into the store, but it's so hard not to just want everything.
Tell us a little bit about the store and how you started it, and and I mean, because having brick and mortar,
hard.
It's hard.
Yes.
It's hard, and I applaud you,
especially in the luxury space. I mean, I'm not selling inexpensive things, so you really have to have the market for it.
But how do you do it, and
right.
And so, what can someone expect?
I think I studied psychology with a minor in international business. It's not the route that I was originally going to even go. But I started building my website at 20 years old, and within 6 months, I already opened my first brick and mortar, but I wouldn't call it a full-blown retail store. I was in a salon suite in Pinecrest, but I had a window where you could still see me from, the main parking lot. And just from my tiny little 200 square foot store, I really built an amazing clientele. I mean, I'm in Pinecrest, so it's very wealthy women that like to shop. And because I was in a salon suite, then I had all the women in tinfoils and the robe doing their hair and their nails. And they're like, as soon as this comes out, I'm going to go try on. So I was there for 2 years, and I was very, very successful in my 200 square foot space. So then just from there, I started expanding. I opened a store on Bird Road and 65th. I was there for about 4 years. While I was there, I opened a second location. I helped also, my mom's an interior designer, so I helped her open 2 locations. So at one point, we had like 4 stores at a time. COVID happens.
Right.
And that's when we realized we need to actually start downsizing because no one was shopping the same way. The fashion industry changed. If I was selling fast fashion, it wasn't the route that I needed to stay in. Otherwise, I wouldn't have survived. So then I started going towards luxury and really marketing myself and being around, the people that continue to shop the way that they did before and after COVID. So that's when I started networking more. I started putting myself out there. I was trying to build my family at that time, so I didn't do as much as I do now. And now I have my 3 boys, but it's time for me to focus on my first baby, which is my business. And I've been, my last one just turned 1 now. I'm done having kids. So I was like, I need to be back on my baby. My number 1 was my business. So that's why if you go on my Instagram, you'll see like the evolution of me. And it was like hitting it hard, had my kids, and now I'm back to the grind.
And everyone says the same thing about you, that you are just a firecracker. Everyone who meets you, everyone who comes in contact with you, your energy is contagious. And I feel like that's part of how when people build brands, you could always see the personality,
of course,
built within the brand.
And I think I'm genuine about that. I think in the industry that I'm in selling luxury, you have to be. It takes time to build relationships with people and build that trust, and especially in the luxury space. So I think that people see the energy that you just walking into my store, you could feel the nice vibes, and so I get that a lot.
And what are some of your favorites when you think of, like, my closet tells a story. And at one point I think I told you this, a blog, every stiletto tells a story because I literally counted probably a couple hundred in my closet and shame to admit it. And then I broke my pinky toe, and I'm like waiting to still get back into, some of those, but they're masterpieces now, and red bottom shoes that, have never been worn. I mean, I need to figure that out. Maybe
well, we need to do a closet clean out of what you won't wear.
We need to do that. But what was your hot button? Some women are about their purse and some women about the shoes, and what was your soft spot?
I don't know. I was having this conversation with somebody the other day, and they're like, oh, I'm a bag girl, but I like everything. I mean, I could be wearing jeans and a white top, but have my really nice bag. Or I could just, I don't know. I love my heels. I was a dancer my whole life. I can say I have good legs. So a good pair of heels just complements it. I don't know. I can't pick. And then obviously my fine jewelry. I sell watches and fine jewelry also. So I just like the head to toe complete package. I can't pick one.
What's trending right now? What would you say are the 3 to 5 things that every woman should have in her closet, or be
a Birkin, a Kelly, anything Hermes, Chanel. I look at also investment pieces and giving advice to a client. I would say get an investment piece, but also it's a nice staple in your closet.
A nice timeless classic piece.
Mm-hmm. That's what I would say.
Okay. And what are some of the what in terms of colors? Right now there are a lot of things. I mean, animal print.
I know. Well, I'm very classic. I like the off-white, black, brown, grays. I'm like very clean line, minimalistic. I'm actually not a print girl. I would say trends right now would be maybe some metallic. I feel like they've been in for a while, and a lot of my clients, when they're designing a dress with me, they want something metallic. And I actually just finished a group of bridesmaids that each one was a different metallic color, and putting that all together was stunning. It's very editorial. So, but for me as a designer, it's either metallic or the classic colors.
What's a day in the life of Genevieve?
Every day is different. Well, my kids, I wake up at 4 a.m. I go to the gym. I come back home. My husband is there. He's leaving to work. I'm getting the kids ready for school. I shower, take my kids to school, and my day starts immediately. I mean, most of the time it's just me like in gym clothes, just running around getting everything ready. I have my meetings with you one day, or I'm in a photo shoot another day. I'm on a podcast another day. So it's just, every day is different, but I wouldn't want it any other day.
I want to hear more about the private label
Mhm.
by Genevieve.
Yes. So that's my custom clothing made to order brand. I've been asked, as a designer to roll out capsule collections, but I think that, there's things that have happened with Saks and all these big retailers closing. Nordstrom has closed stores. So I've been approached by buyers to roll out a collection, but that industry, unfortunately, you won't make it. It's too difficult. There could be returns. There's net 90, net 60 terms where they don't pay right away. If there's an issue with an order, you have to get they'll refund the whole amount. Like it's just a very difficult industry. So if I design for a store, I prefer boutique style stores. I have more control that way. The quantities are less, but it's quality over quantity. And then my main business is my made to order, where people come in and design a dress with me. They get to select the fabric. We take their measurements. So we do everything in one-on-one.
It's wonderful. And that's, I've done a lot of that. I'm short. So
you have to do custom. Yeah.
And what looks good on the hanger doesn't
Right.
always look good.
No, I know. And I think the most important thing is making my clients and hearing them and what they know looks good on them. And then I help guide them with whether or not I agree and what colors and what style, what fabric. So they really love the experience with me.
So here we are, beginning of 2026. What are some of the goals that you have, and where do you see yourself in the next year? Where do you see yourself longer term?
Yes. So my businesses are doing really well, continuing to grow that, obviously, but we also have investment like real estate properties. There's a couple things that I won't mention that I'm working on right now. I'll tell you secretively, but I have some really exciting things that are different than what I do already, but they will all tie together. So we're working on a couple projects.
Wonderful. Mm-hmm. Okay, now I'm even more intrigued. So let's talk about Pink Havana, which is our theme.
Yes.
And you are on the committee, and we are in the process of, we're literally 93 days away, April 30th. So when you think about the fashion and you think of Pink Havana and the retro, what are some suggestions as to what women should wear and the gentlemen?
Okay. Well, obviously Pink Havana. So maybe something floral, maybe something pink. You could do pink metallics. I also think of like Havana Nights. So somehow tying in like the culture with the colors. I see even some like feathers, just, kind of over the top, but like in a very classy way.
I love it.
And then the men, obviously maybe just like on the lapels, bring in the color. I don't know what I'm going to wear yet, though. I have to think about it. It has to be fabulous. And the palace is amazing.
It is fabulous. And last year we did the Pink Passport, and that was fabulous. So you just turned 30, but what would you tell your younger self? In terms of, when you think back growing up, would you say that, you always knew it was going to be fashion?
That's tricky to answer. I didn't always know it was going to be fashion. What I did know was that I didn't want to be in school any longer. I got my bachelor's and I was done. I graduated high school early. I graduated with my bachelor's early, and I just knew that I wanted to start making money. And I didn't want to be working for anybody. I worked in the ER for almost 2 years because I thought I was going to go the medical route. And I was like, I love the thrill and I love that, but that's why I'm good in business, because I just love the energy. You had to always go, go, go. So that's what I loved working in the ER. But ultimately I was like, I knew I wanted to be a young mom. I knew I wanted to be married young. I knew I've always been this way. I'm a Capricorn and I've always been just nonstop. And my dad is like, slow down. I'm like, even when I'm relaxing, there's no such thing as slowing down for me. So my younger self, I don't know. I there's been so many highs and lows in business. So I'm glad I'm at this point and I've never given up. So I think my younger self would be proud.
I think so too. When you think of yourself as a leader, we produce this Rockstar coffee table book of leaders, and we have something else that we're coming up with. what would you say is your leadership style?
Mhm.
If you had to describe your leadership style with like 3 adjectives, what would you say?
Well, I mean, to call myself a leader, I also have to show people that I am I have certain expectations, but I can't have those expectations if I'm not also providing and showing people that this is the way that we do things. I don't micromanage any of people that work for me, but I also do have expectations, and I think that once you see my energy and everything that I'm doing to grow my business or to be successful, I hire people that are a good person, and then you can teach the skills later. But I think being a good leader, I read a book once. What was the name of it? Something about your ego. You basically just have to let go of your ego and just show people how to be a leader themselves so that they can lead people and continue to grow your business with you.
What are the important things to remember? I mean, we talked a little bit about the challenges of having a brick and mortar. What would you say are the key aspects to really, you have a great location, Pine Crescent, and, certainly in a market where there's, a lot of homes and
Right.
women, and I'm sure you have your established clientele as well. But what would you say are some of the positives of having a brick and mortar store, and what have been some of the challenges?
I would say pre-COVID, I was doing really well. I think COVID for about a year, it was a struggle. And I think that what was the struggle was trying to do the same thing and expecting a different outcome. And what I realized was that the market changed, so I have to change with the market. And I think that businesses that try to stay the same for a couple of years post-COVID, they're the ones that went down, unfortunately. And I'm talking about people in my industry and any industry, but a lot of boutiques or people in fashion, a lot of stores have closed that have been in business 15, 20 years, that have been in business much longer than me, that have had their clientele. So I think that I changed my business model. And I lowered my expenses. I lowered I got rid of a couple of people, as far as staff. I started doing everything myself again, things that I hadn't done in years. But I had no choice. And
like what?
I mean, steaming clothes, just as something as simple as that. So I started doing everything myself again. And that's when I started focusing on my custom and really marketing my custom made to order business. And that's where I really exploded again. I mean, if you go to every single Catholic or, private schools, they all know who I am. And they're the daughters, and then the moms, and then the grandmothers, and then their younger sisters, and then their cousins. And then it's just my business is all word of mouth.
Uh-huh.
So I had to change with the market and start, I think being in Pinecrest was really good for me, but obviously Pinecrest is not cheap. So, I had to strategize how it was going to continue to grow. Otherwise, just like everybody else, I would have gone down for sure.
Who are some of your favorite designers that you draw inspiration on? That when you think of, I'm going to come up with something, original, and, who are those go-to designers that you've loved over the years?
I would say anything vintage. So vintage Versace runway, Valentino. If I'm talking about maybe more modern, I resonate really well with Alexis. She's from Miami also. Ronnie Cobo.
I love Ronnie. I actually got to meet her.
Yes.
And she's fabulous.
Right. So, but since I do a lot of, I like Petbo. Since I do a lot of gowns, like I'm known for gowns for prom, bridesmaids, brides, or galas, then I really like anything vintage runway that was a really spectacular gown. And obviously vintage or fashion now, you're grabbing inspiration from the past and just merging the two. So that's how I design.
Oh, I love vintage. When I first moved down here to start up MTV back in the 90s, our office was on Lincoln Road.
Okay.
And so back then, Lincoln Road was a lot of vintage stores.
Right.
I got the vintage blue jeans. And,
yeah.
And one birthday, I actually got the outfit that Madonna wore in Isla Bonita.
Oh my goodness.
I know. So, I mean, my closet still tells a story.
I'm sure it's fun.
But the vintage, I've always gravitated towards
and things
vintage.
that were not in style. a couple years ago are back in style that were vintage. So that it's always coming back. I love it.
For the relove portion of your business, how do you find the things? Because I would imagine that you have to have your pulse on the market to see what's on style, what's special, what'll move, right? So, as you go out and you're in that stocking mode or, picking those items that will curate,
Right.
a special shopping experience.
Right.
What do you look for?
So what I learned post-COVID was that I could not buy inventory anymore. So actually my consignment business, my luxury consignment business is all consignment. Like I don't buy the inventory. My clients will bring in things or we go to our clients' homes and do closet cleanouts, but I'm very picky what comes into the store. It has to be over a specific price point to have it in the store. I'm very selective. Again, I want quality over quantity. We only take designer. And then a lot of my pieces we source. So a lot of my business is just from my phone. I have a client that says, oh, I want, this classic black Chanel bag. Can you find it for me? And they don't get it in the store. It's not made anymore. They don't have access to it. And that's my job. I source for them. So we consign or we source for our clients.
And how does the consignment part work? So say, for example, someone wants to consign with you, you say yes or no to the item.
Right. So then, they'll bring it in. I'll see what brands they are. Most of the time they'll call me and say, hey, do you take these brands? Yes or no. I'll review it, make sure there's no stains, there's, good quality. And then after that, depending on how much we can list each item for, there's different percentage tiers. So, a Chanel bag I can list for over $2,500. I'll show them what the percentages would be, and it favors my consigners. I'm better than the Real, who's actually going out of business.
I saw that.
Yeah. So I always try to make the consigner happy with their payouts, but also, we do our market research and we see how much we can, kind of like listing a home, we see how much we can list the item for depending on the condition and the year and everything. So then I could really tell my client, okay, this is realistically how much we're going to be able to get. And obviously on eBay, we also sell on eBay and Poshmark and our own online platforms, and people are always making counter offers. So we keep that in mind so that our consigners are still happy.
Incredible. It's so nice to hear all the different parts of it, and
I think the consignment business is very difficult though. There's so much inventory to keep track of. You could bring in 50 pieces and then an hour later another client brings in 50 pieces and we need to make sure that your items are separate from hers and they don't mix. It's very, very tricky
in terms of business. Inventory.
Yes. And then it's one of one. So you're loading inventory to Poshmark and eBay, but it's a one of one item. So that's why it's very strategic on what items I do accept, because it's not worth my time listing anything under 100, let's say.
Oh, of course not.
No.
And you love, I'm sure that you have your regulars. Like I know what I love. I've gotten to the point that, I know what I think of my style as, Chanel meets rocker chic.
Yes, yes, I love that.
And that's me too. That's my vibe. And when I'm looking, then, I obviously love, a lot of other brands. And I told you about the Alexander McQueen
the red dress
that, was like, worn. But knowing that, I know, I tend to know. And so a lot of times it'll be like, okay, if this comes in, this is on my shopping list or my wish list, if you will. So let's talk about, because you have so much going on and you're giving back.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about that because, especially young mom, 3 kids, the kind of schedule that you have, not always easy. Then on top of that, to say, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to step on a committee and I'm going to give back. But you've done it. We're not the first ones. So talk about your philanthropy and some of the things that you've been doing to give back.
Yeah. So right now, obviously, I'm on the committee with you for the Pink Havana event coming up. I'm also I just partnered up with Style Saves for the Holt Children's Hospital for a prom event that they're having, and nice. I honestly, it just gives me purpose. I also want my kids to see that I'm also giving back. And right now, they're not going to understand. They're only 3, 2, and 1 years old. But I do want them to see that giving back to the community is not only important, but it's rewarding. So I come home every day like fulfilled that I'm giving back, and I'm able to do that.
That's a great partnership too with Style Saves.
Yes.
I mean, Isabella
Yes.
Gretman and everything that
So this is a new partnership that I was in Vegas last week, and I was on the call with them planning everything out.
That's
I'm
wonderful.
nonstop.
That's what. No, you are not.
Yeah.
You are nonstop. What do you do to relax? What? I mean,
I have my gym at 4 a.m.
I mean,
People are like,
up
do
at
you
4.
do you sleep? I'm like, I don't think so. Maybe I close my eyes for a little bit, but I don't really sleep.
How do you keep the balance?
I drink my glass of wine at night.
Okay.
No, or date nights, or you try to squeeze in, a little bit of travel here and there. But like I told you earlier, there's no stopping for me. I'm always on the go. There's no relaxing. Even a day at the pool, I'm still working on my phone.
Well, you have amazing content, and we have 4 minutes left. So what I want you to do is share your Instagram, your what I call your minute commercial on how they can reach you, see you, shop at your store. And so take it away.
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram. It's Genevieve Page, Genevieve.page, I believe. Then my custom clothing business is private labeled by Genevieve. And then the luxury consignment jewelry and watches is called House of Ice Miami. And then I'm located in Pinecrest, across the street from the Falls and the warehouses. The address is 8701 Southwest 132nd Street.
Wonderful. So now you know exactly where to find you.
Yes.
And content is king. Now, I tell
100%.
everyone, if you're not telling your story, if you're not going and
Out of sight, out of mind.
I see you do that a lot. You go live, you tell your story, your videos are beautiful and you're always,
Thank you.
But you are a walking, living representation of your brand, and that's what makes it authentic.
Yes.
So when I see you shooting some of this content and so forth, I had to share. You were recently on South Florida Live.
Yes, I was.
I saw that piece, and that was a really great piece. So, I'm excited about what you do next and following your journey.
Thank
You.
I'm excited.
What's wonderful too is seeing, and I can really say this. I mean, it's funny. We just celebrated your birthday with the rest of the committee, and that our future is bright with business women like you at the helm. Your energy level and all the things that I said, about that. But the fact that on top of all of it, so we want to talk about upcoming February love, because we're going to give you a code out there. So if you shop and that accounts for, be it online,
and we just launched our website, actually. It's relovemiami.com. So they can shop and
relovemiami.com.
And we will be giving back. We said
the
15%.
Code for the month of February, we're all going to show some love. So it's going to be going to our charity partner, to Luminous Advocacy Project. We also, we're all going to tell you more about that. But, Marilyn Dans, who has been on the show and has been our partner before. And we're so excited because that we support their missions, and they're just, changing early detection around the world. And, we couldn't be happier to do that. So the hashtag is #PinkLove15, which is or is it Pink Relove?
Pink Relove.
Pink Relove 15,
Yes.
15% going back to the charity. And you want to make sure that, for the month of February, so shopping for a loved one, shopping for your mom. Don't forget your mom on, on, Valentine's Day, or your friends or birthdays, whatever the occasion may be. Thank you so much for being on Spotlight TV, and I can't wait to go in. We're going to be shooting some live, and we'll show you some pieces, and we're going to be doing an Instagram live from the store. So this will be February will be full of love and relove. So thank you for joining us on Spotlight. A big thank you to our producers, and to Grant and to Michael Miller and everyone on the team here. Our Emily, who is here, and we're just happy to have a whole new season of Spotlight.